remind people inside that they are not forgotten.
It's one of the largest immigration detention facilities in California. Are the people inside Adelanto forgotten? Are they alone? What do we want? Shut down Adelanto.
Behind those walls, over there, my father of 5, was detained by ICE, not knowing that they can hear us. We're gonna chant for them. No están solos! You're not alone!
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. To those families affected by this action, we are really sorry. Forgive us. This is not a party. This is a protest. We are raising our voice to demand justice for the people in detention. Free them all! Free them all! Free them all!
The key hearing was Senator Markwayne Mullin. We mentioned this morning that Mullin is has a bit of a personal history with Rand Paul. That played out today. And let's just say this hearing started with some fireworks. Roll that one.
Sheer lack of any kind of self-awareness that you're going to be leading thousands of men and women who will have the use of force. And there's been great questions in our country about how that will be used. And you think a violent attack is just fine. So I guess my first question is, do you think that justifying that kind of violence sets a good example for the men and women of ICE and Border Patrol?
Mr. Chairman, first of all, I didn't know the extent of your damage. When the phone call was made, I made it to you and I tried to talk to you. You didn't engage at all. In fact, you said, get your paperwork in. It's got to be 3 days in between.
You offered no apology.
Sir?
And you offer no apology today and no regrets. Haven't heard the word apologize, haven't heard the word regret.
There's this little thing called the Epstein files. There's a lot of people that have been found liable, charged, all kinds of stuff, from Prince Andrew and Peter Mandelson, from Norwegian officials, the former prime minister, and the former ambassador, all these different people, right? Some would argue, especially since there was international trafficking that was taking place, some would argue that our president, whose name is found over and over and over and over in these files, may have engaged in, say, child trafficking, sex trafficking. They may come to that conclusion. Now, with that being the understanding, if there are other countries that believe, because they believe in actually holding people accountable, okay? So they say, you know what? There were some girls from England or wherever, because there were people from different countries, and they say, you know what, we gonna just come and we're gonna drop in on America, we're going to bomb America, we're going to kill civilians in America because, you know what, we have a warrant for his arrest. Whether it's for the child sex trafficking in the Epstein files because America doesn't want to do their job, or whether we're talking about violating international law, whether we're talking about going and just randomly killing people. I can tell you that every single one of you that is sticking up for him right now would be screaming from the rooftops. The analysis has to be the same. I am so offended that I am still paying my daggone student loans for law school, and it seems like none of it matters nowadays. Because seemingly what we do is we twist the law to justify. The analysis is the same. If you would be outraged if they came and bombed our country to go after him to arrest him, if you're listening, that I don't know if people are doing this. But if they decided to do that because of the Epstein files, or because of violating international law, you all would be against it. So we should be against it right now. Thank you. I'll yield.
To discuss this administration's massive cover-up of the Epstein files in order to conceal President Trump's involvement. This cover-up reached its apex last month when Attorney General Pam Bondi falsely testified under oath before the House Judiciary Committee. The Attorney General testified, quote, "There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that," unquote. This is a lie. There is credible evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. And that, of course, excludes the nearly 3 million pages that the DOJ is refusing to turn over. Donald Trump is mentioned thousands of times in the Epstein files. There are multiple allegations that he sexually assaulted young girls. But I want to focus on one victim's allegations that the FBI unquestionably found to be credible. And now we know why. She credibly accuses Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her when she was between 13 and 15. Let me teach you how little girls are supposed to be. Trump unzipped his pants and put her head down, quote, down to his penis, bit the S out of it. Trump struck the victim and said words to the effect of, "Get this little B the hell out of here." They included this victim's testimony. They would not have done so if they did not find the evidence credible, which means that Attorney General Bondi lied when she stated under oath that there is no evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime, that Jeffrey Epstein emailed Ghislaine Maxwell and said, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Redacted victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned."
And I just want to point out something that was released about 6 days ago. This is a fundraising email from the president of the United States. And in this email here, where there's multiple links to donate money, it says, "As a national security briefing member, you'll receive my private national security briefings." Director Gabbard or Director Radcliffe, do you think the public should be able to, supporters of the president should be able to pay and receive his private national security briefings? I assume these are briefings, Director Radcliffe, that you provide to the president that is now going to be provided to somebody who makes a
regardless
donation.
of what that I don't know what that document is, but regardless of what it says, it didn't happen.
Well, no, this is new.
But what I'm telling you is that the Hatch Act would prevent me from in an apolitical role from engaging in that. I'm not aware that anything like that happened.
Yeah, this says unfiltered updates. So, Director Gabbard, do you have any comment on whether unfiltered updates of private national security briefings should be made to individuals that donate to the president?
I'm not familiar with that document, and
It's been made very public 6 days ago. We'll get you a copy here because I agree with you, Director Ratcliffe, that the Hatch Act should prohibit this type of conduct.
The President of the United States just said that I insulted Jesus. You want to know what insults Jesus? Kicking the sick off their health care while cutting taxes for billionaires. You know what insults Jesus? Deporting the stranger and separating babies from their mothers. You know what insults Jesus? Bombing innocent school children in Iran and sending our brave men and women off to die in another forever war. You know what insults Jesus? Covering up the Epstein files and then refusing to prosecute a single person in them. I am not a perfect Christian. I don't claim to be. There's only been one perfect Christian, and he was crucified on a cross 2,000 years ago. Jesus told us, he told us to love our neighbors as ourselves. He told us on earth as it is in heaven. Can we imagine war in heaven? Can we imagine bigotry in heaven? Can we imagine poverty in heaven, then why do we tolerate these things on earth?
Hey buddy, it's time for your weekly check-in. How you doing?
I'm going to show the world
You want to show the world what exactly?
that I can be independent of Donald Trump.
You want to be independent from Donald Trump. Right.
He's not controlling me.
Okay, Donald Trump is not controlling you. How long has he been trying to control you?
For years this has been going on.
For years. And who is Donald Trump?
An incompetent president.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great president, to put it mildly.
Okay, tell me more about Donald Trump.
Everything about him is dumb.
Yep, dumb.
A low IQ person.
Uh-huh.
And a face that got racked.
Racked face. Okay, what else?
Extremely violent.
He's violent, huh? And do you ever speak to Donald Trump and tell him not to be violent?
I mean, he told me this morning, I spoke to him, he's trying.
Well, that's good he's trying. Okay, buddy, I got some bad news for you.
I don't give a damn if it's good or bad.
Okay, well, the bad news is you are Donald Trump. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's really tough news to hear.
Got a problem.
Oh yeah, big problem.
You're very sick.
Yes, you are very sick. And do you know where you are right now?
It's a beautiful island.
You think you're on Epstein Island again?
It's a beautiful island. Great weather.
Okay, more bad news for you, Donald. This is not Epstein Island. This is a mental institution. And what do you think about that?
I think it's important that I be here. Yep.
Oh, I completely agree. This is exactly where you belong. You're not going anywhere.
Right?
Yeah, Donald, you're really confused. Definitely not fit to be president. Okay, Donald, buddy. Well, we're out of time. I know it's been a tough session for you. Why don't you go grab yourself a pudding cup?
I'd love to.
Okay, well, enjoy eating your pudding.
I think I could do anything I want with it.
Right.
Come to think of it, wow. I gotta look at this myself. Wow. Or the president could do some of this shit I'm doing. Or the president could do some of this shit I'm doing. Or the president could do some of this shit I'm doing. Or the...
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Let's see here. Am I coming through loud and clear? Test, test, test.
Testing, testing.
All right, there I am. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's 9:17 a.m. Pacific time zone. Currently here in beautiful Las Vegas, it's 73 degrees already. Now today they say the daytime high is going to be 97. Officially 97 today. Tomorrow we may hit 100, which will set a new all-time record here in Las Vegas. Or I think maybe for the whole state of Nevada, of our first 100-degree day ever in the month of March, ever. I know some of you folks back east, you probably think it's 100 degrees here every day, 365. No. We are almost 30 degrees above average temperature for this time of year. I do see Serinda Monkey with a 10-pound super chat. Yippee! Thank you so much, Serinda Monkey, coming in hot. Serinda Monkey says, I'm so drunk right now. I'm so freaking drunk right now that I've just sent 10 pounds to this oaf. Thank you so much, Serinda Monkey. And programming note, once again, I am unable to post the goal. So I want to thank Serinda Monkey for getting us off. Not getting us off. That did not sound right. Starting us off. On pretend like I have a goal of 5. I don't know what's going on. YouTube does this. I have issues, and then eventually they just go away or whatever. But thank you, Serinda Monkey. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I did get to bed pretty late last night, so I'm kind of a little groggy still. I worked last night, and so I get home late. But thanks for being here. I see that Sandy Foltz is here, and Paul Burrows, Nick Rich, Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. Sandy Foltz says, how close are you to getting a new car? Well, and by new, I know you mean used, because it'll be new to me, but a used car. I don't know. I mean, I'm still pretty far away. Actually. Let's see. We got DPD is here. Hello, DPD. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Nick Rich 904. So I'm about 15 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 15 minutes behind you. Sandy Foltz, I'm first in the chat. I did see Sandy was first up in that thing. DPD, love me some Don Lemon. Yeah, I put a little Don Lemon in there today. I put a little lemon in there. It's good to squeeze a little lemon every now and then. You know what I mean? That did not sound right either. Now I know some of you were watching. I did do a premiere this morning. I just saw something I taped yesterday when I was going to work. I actually I took an Uber on the way home, so I would get home before the sun came up. I actually edited that and put that together last night in the Uber ride home. And then I just thought I'd put it as a premiere type of thing. Serinda Monkey says, hi. I just left an extremely funny Professor Dave video to be here. I hope you appreciate my loss. Well, we do. I do, anyhow. I appreciate it very, very much because, I mean, come on. You left Professor Dave to come here? To come here? I mean, yeah. I'm very grateful. I mean, come on. Sandy Foltz, these stupid videos really suck. Thank you, Sandy. Admittedly, I did sort of slap that one together quickly, today's intro, because I woke up about, I don't know, 8 something. I'm supposed to start this at 9. I did sort of slap that together. So I'm not sure if I could really argue with Sandy on that one. You know what I mean? I apologize if I kind of slap something together. Serinda Monkey says, wow, she's dropping the bomb. She's a fucking legend. I think you're talking about Jasmine Crockett. who is soon to be out of Congress come January due to redistricting, right? But I'm sure we have not seen the last of Jasmine Crockett, even after her term ends. She will probably be a, she will be on the left-leaning talk shows and things like that, things of this nature, and then she will probably run again for something in Texas. She'll find a House district that she can run in for 2028, unless she runs for president in 2028, or she could do both. I don't know, maybe. William's here. Hey, William, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for coming on in. DPD 5844 says, this bullshit about them never knowing what's happening is a steaming pile of shit. I agree. They're all full of shit. They're so full of shit. This whole Trump administration, from the head on down, they're all full of shit. Full of poo-poo caca. Poo-poo caca. Serena Monkey says, isn't war in heaven how Satan was invented? Ooh, good question. I'm not sure if that was a war or so much just a revolt. I don't know. Sorry, folks. The intros all suck. They're not worth showing on here. All right, Sandy. All right. You don't like them. You've voiced your opinion. Duly noted. Sandy does not like the intros. Right? Duly noted. Make a note of that. Oh, Sandy doesn't like the intros. Oh, sorry, Sandy. I guess we'll just change the whole format of the show just for you, Sandy. Sandy doesn't like... Hey, Paul, did you hear that Sandy doesn't like the intros? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness gracious. What should we do? Whatever should we do? I guess we'll just have to stop with the intros. No more intros. You guys heard it. You guys heard it. No more intros. Anyway, if we're thinking about it, so please subscribe. Please subscribe. I heard we're up to 4,400. Trucker John, 4,400. That's right. We are up to 4,400 subscribers. I can almost taste that Hennessy right now. I can almost taste the Hennessy. As soon as we get, for those of you that don't remember or don't know, as soon as we hit 5K, it's going to be Hennessy Day. And we're at 4,400. Only 6,400 to go. So we'll crack that open in a couple of years, I guess. I don't know. Serena Monkey says Christians are fucking insane. I think we can say that about some other religious groups too. It seems like the Abrahamic religions are all kind of fucking crazy, if you ask me. All those Abrahamic-based religions are pretty fucking whack, if you ask me. You know what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about. I think I know. Petrazi 1920 is here. Hey, Petrazi, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, baby. Oh, thank you very much. And I'm just now coming across the Serena Monkey 10-pound super chat. Thank you very much again, once again. Oh, once again. Paul Burrows says, I'm getting my first quote for a new roof today. Well, I hope that doesn't set you back too much. Probably will. They're very expensive. Very expensive. Nick Rich 20 past the hour. So I'm 7. Now I'm only 7 little tiny little baby, little itsy teensy weensy baby. Minutes behind you. Vasantha Elf is here. Hey, Vasantha. Vasantha Elf. Thank you very much. Are you Santa's elf? Is that what you're trying to say? You're Santa's elf? Oh, let's see. DPD says, TJ, Wednesday, my husband and I received an email and a phone call from Representative Greg Landsman's office saying because of a scheduling conflict, our meeting has been canceled. What the fuck? Of course it has. Of course. Of course. The coward. He was a coward. He's too afraid to meet with you, DPD. He's like, no way, man. I'm going to get grilled. I don't want to get grilled. Greg Landsman, Representative Landsman, I'm calling you out, man. You are a coward. Meet with your constituents, you MFer. Sunnyfold says, I'm not sure if maybe I should move to Lockport or Wausau, Wisconsin. Wausau? I have no idea. I don't think I've ever been to Lockport. I may have been through Wausau, Wisconsin. And everyone looked at me funny as like they're saying, you're not pronouncing the name of our town correctly. Get out of our town. So I left. Hey, William likes the intros. So there. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. MJ Daniel from Washington State is up here in this here chat. MJ says, I'm not surprised that the replacement for Puppy Killer is even worse. I know. And I'm not doing anything weird. I'm trying to scratch my nose. I don't know what this means. If I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing right now. But I was just trying to get a little scratch on the nose, I guess, without it looking worse, and I ended up making it worse. I don't know. But yeah, I keep saying, like, you know, we need to get rid of RFK Jr., or we need to get rid of this person or that person, but with the caveat that be careful what we wish for, because the person they replace him with certainly isn't going to be any better. Yeah, I don't think. Trump's going to suddenly replace, you know, let's say an RFK Jr. with someone who was an actual, real, maybe a doctor or an expert in the fields of, you know, of diseases and things of this nature. I don't know, you know, but still, it doesn't mean we shouldn't, I guess, try to hold these people accountable. DPD says, I know this motherfucker is afraid to meet us because he would have to lie to our faces. I sincerely hope he does not. Maybe I'm sort of editing a little bit here. I think maybe hope he does not think that's the end and we will go quietly into the night. Hell no, what a fucking coward. There you go. That was DPD. Very eloquent in their appraisal of that situation. And I said what I said before I read DPD's post here. And we're pretty much on the same page about the word coward came up on both of our rants there. Certain Monkey says, is Jack Daniels Hennessy? No, but it is from Tennessee. I'm a Captain Morgan fan myself, but I'm drunk on a much more ridiculous beer than whiskey. Really? Okay. Hennessy is apparently a cognac. And the bottle I have, it's kind of, if I remember correctly, it's said it was from France. So I don't know. but it's a cognac. Yuck. Cognac. Nola Carnes is here. Hey, Nola, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with us for a bit. Paul Burrows, it's Wausau. What did I say? Wausau? Yeah, Wausau. There you go. I think I knew that at one point in my life. You know how you know something and then you kind of forget it? MJ Daniel says, Monty Python job interview sketch, very funny. Okay. All righty then. Sandy folks, if you want more viewers on your show, you need to be on more days for live stream. I know you've made that very clear. That's your opinion. I've heard that several times from you. And I will do more shows when I'm able to do more shows. And not a moment sooner. But Trazi, 1920, says, I think Mark Wayne will be just as shitty as Krusty Gnome. Yeah, I have no confidence in Mark Wayne Mullen or whatever his name is. Mark Wayne Mullet. I have no confidence that we're going to be getting any type of an upgrade in that position there. None whatsoever. Damon Dog, the big dog, is here. Hey, Damon Dog, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Thanks for popping on in to the driver's lounge. I want to thank you. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Damon Dog says, RFK Jr. says China is putting gay chemicals in vapes. Really? Well, let's all vape up. Let's do it. Let's get vapey. Let's vape this shit. Simmer down, Paul. Simmer down. Relax. Sort of Monkey, I love Brandy. She's a good singer. Or something. I don't know. Sunny Folks, what's with the monkey crap? I have no idea what you're talking about. You talking about Surrender Monkey? Are you talking about our friend from across the pond, Surrender Monkey? Boy, Sandy's. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, Sandy? Sandy's a bit cranky. I think Sandy's a bit cranky this morning. DPD says, I won't go away that easily. I'm like a stalker, but in a good way. Especially when I feel I am being led around with lies and deception. So we will simply reschedule or show up at his office unannounced. There you go. Stay at it. Keep at it. Yeah, don't let him off the hook so easily. You know? Damon or Nick Rich says Miss Fancy 5000 has been uploading a lot of short AI vids. Serena Monkey says if you drink enough brandy, your sweat will smell like a stale curry the day after. It's a true sad fact. I know. Don't ask me how. Might I edit? Don't ask me how I know. I think you should have added an I know there at the end. Don't ask me how I know. Anyhow, who am I to tell someone from the mother country how to speak the mother tongue? Let's see. Let's see here. Sandy Folds with them purple hearts. Petrazi says, oh, I vape sometimes. I guess I'll be gay now. I got me some coffee. I need my coffee. Anna Moore's here. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. It says, hello, TJ and fellow loungers. I am confused Good to see you all. Why are you confused, Anna Moore? I mean, I know these are confusing times that we live in. There's lots to be confused about. That's for sure. Sir Monkey, I'm drunk, remember? Yeah, you're probably not going to be, speaking correct English at all times. Let's see. DPD says maybe Sandy is referring to Baby Punch in China, the baby monkey that was abandoned by his mother. I didn't hear about that. That poor baby. That poor baby monkey. It's not nice. Now, I know you guys have been talking about the cats, and you want me to have cats. Last night when I was walking in, I came across 2 of the kitties here. I call them kitties. I mean, they're pretty much full grown, but you can tell they're young. And I tried to get them to come to me, and they kind of stopped. One of them took off. Like, there was 2 of them. One of them kind of just took off, and then the other one, the little fluffier one, he almost was going to come over towards me, and then he was like, "Nah, not yet. Not yet. I'm gonna toy with this motherfucker for a while. I'm gonna play hard to get." But he did sort of stop and look at me. I looked at him. He looked at me, and I do my thing, my patented thing that I do that really usually gets the kitties to come to me. And I go, here's what I do. I go, kitty, 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 kitty. I do that, and it usually works. And I'm usually like put my hand out as though I have a little treat, even though if I don't have a treat. Because if I had a treat, I would have given the cat a treat. But I don't really carry treats with me. But I was going kitty, 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 kitty. And that gets their attention, and they're like, "What is that noise?" It was contemplating. So maybe someday I will get one of those kitties to get close enough, and I can pet it. Hopefully, not get any freaking whatever they have on them. They might have something on them. I don't know. Sandy says, "Take one of." Well, I'm not. You can't. They run away. They run away, Sandy. Should I make a trap? Nick Rich says, "Punch the Monkey has a girlfriend." Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Petrazi, young cats are so cute. They're so cute. So remember that if you're ever trying to get a kitty to come to you, just go kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, kitty. Do it really sort of maniacally. They love that. They love that shit. Sort of Monkey says, "Cats are adorable but fucking insane." Yes. All right then. Mr. Spock says, "Shake a treat bag." Well, like I said, I didn't have any treats on me. I just pretend like I do. I put my hand out like this, like I sort of rub my fingers together. Some of them fall for it. Paul Burrow says, "I have 13 cats in my cat rescue." Oh, you have a cat rescue. Buy some cat treats. Oh, this is what I need to do. Buy some cat treats. Okay, fine. Fine then. I'll be spending my money on cat treats. For cats I don't have. Damon Dog says, "Hey, Anna Moore, I hope you're having a good day." And I have now caught up with the chat, so show's over. Thank you for being here. Be sure to tip your waiters and don't wreck on the way out of the parking lot. Sunny Volts, I have 3 cats. My oldest cat is 17. The other are 2 and 11. DVD says, "TJ, you can put them some water down. It's going to be hot. Oh, I wish I could take them." I know, it's so hot. It is very, very hot. We're going to be 100 degrees tomorrow and Saturday probably. David Dog, I have 7 cats, little serial killers. Yeah, they bring you dead snakes. Sometimes not so dead. They are little assassins. Have you seen the videos of where people put like a GoPro or something on their collars, and then you can see what they did the whole day? They are just out basically murdering birds. Any bird they can murder, they will murder a bird. But they're just the trouble they get into, those cats. Sweater Monkey says cats are hard work, squirrels are easier. Show them your nuts. Oh boy, you are drunk, aren't you? David Dog says I woke up with a half dead snake in my bedroom. Yeah, I know. Hey, you told us about that. That still freaks me out. I've never had cats bring back a snake, and I live in snake country. Especially, I used to. Well, here it is here, but I've had them leave dead birds at the doorstep. I don't know if they ever brought anything in the house. Maybe, I think so. Probably a bird or two. Maybe a lizard. The occasional lizard. Never a snake, though. DBD says, bless you, Paul, for being so kind. Sandy Foltz says, send some of the heat to Niagara Falls. I would if I could. I would gladly give you guys some of the heat, because we got too much of it, and you guys don't have enough of it, I guess, apparently. But Trazi, 1920, says, I have 3 black cats. The oldest is 15. The other are 2 and 12. That's almost the same sort of ages that's of Sandy's. 17, 2, and 11, and yours are 15, 2, and 12. Wow, look at there. You just never know the coincidences that we'll have on this show. Nola Karn says, yes, Runa Monkey, no matter what you do, the cat will do whatever it wants. Okay. Sandy Foltz says, Snickle Fritz, Spooky, and Snoopy, my cat's names. Snickle Fritz. Wow, that's an unusual name. Spooky and Snoopy. Those are nice names. They all start with S. Look at there. I've had cats before. I've had cats. I've had dogs. The kids, we did the hamster thing. My son, I think, had a lizard for a while, like a what was it? What are those big ass lizards? It's kind of cool. Did we have a snake for a while? I think my son wanted a snake. I don't think we got a snake. We got that fucking lizard. I don't really like those kind of pets. I don't. I'm pretty much just a dog and a cat. My ex, she got birds for a while. The birds are fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous upkeep on the birds. I mean, unless you want to be like a zookeeper, you want to be like, that's like your job. Don't get fucking birds and lizards and shit. You got to feed them crickets, and you got to feed them this and that. Fuck that shit. I like dogs and cats. They're pretty easy, relatively speaking. Unless they're really super passionate about wanting to, again, like I said, like be a zookeeper or something. Don't get these exotic animals and shit. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. MJ Daniel says, also bat country, don't stop there. Yeah, we have lots of bats out here, that's for sure. Paul Burrows, my dog thinks she is a cat. Probably because all them cats are around you. Jolie says, my cat was just diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. Not tolerating the medication very well. I have to leave in about 30 minutes to take her back to the vet. Oh, well, I hope your cat gets better or gets good meds or whatever. I don't know. Sandyfold says, Esther was my dog's name, but he is in a good home now. That's good that he's in a good home. I mean, it's sad that he can't be with you, but good that he's in a good home. Or she is in a home. Milcarn says, I had a chipmunk in my house for weeks. Neighbor's kids named it Chippy. I finally got it out through the window. Jumped on my curtains in my hanging plant. Fun. My gypsy cat thought I needed it. Did the cat bring it in? MJ Daniel, all our birds are outside. DBD says, my son has been watching otter videos. Now he wants a baby otter. They are very cute and adorable, although I'm not sure if you can have a baby otter here in Ohio as a pet. Probably not. I don't know. I know my son wanted a monkey for the longest time, like a little chimpanzee, because you see these things on TV or whatever. Yeah, they're cute. They're cute. But I had to remind him, or just I had to tell him about the stories that I heard of fucking monkeys literally ripping the faces off of owners and shit. Eventually, he stopped asking for the monkey. Serinda Monkey, speaking of monkeys, says Nilla Carnes, I've only had 1 cat, 2 dogs, both insane Yorkshire Terriers. Of course, we know anything from Yorkshire is going to be crazy. I got 1 kidnapped because that's a thing over here. I think they call it dog napping, actually. Pookie, my diabetic dog, had the sweetest soul I ever met. And you put that in past tense, so I'm assuming that Pookie is no longer with us, and I'm very sorry to hear that. MJ Daniel, Johnny Depp, Fear and Loathing quote. Oh, okay. Well, I can't get every reference, guys. But so thanks for clearing that one up. Said if it's my cat Spooky thinks he's a female. Well, a little la-ti-da. There, look at there. See? Jolie says I had a cockatiel for about 20 years. He died about 6 months ago. He was a total nightmare, and I miss him like crazy. And those cockatiels, aren't they supposed to live like 80 or 90? Like they'll usually outlive the owner. You know, we had a cockatiel. Ugh. They had a cockatiel. My ex had the cockatiel, and then they got something happened to that, and then she got some other bird, some kind of black bird that was humongous and would shit. It was in a cage. It would shit look like as big as like dog shit. It was just gross. Nola Carnes, yes, TJ, she brought it in. Wow. The cat brought in little Chippy. She wanted a little playmate. DPD says, I hope your fur baby feels better, Jolie. Sort of monkeys are insane. Yes. My son wanted one for the longest time, and I kept telling him no. They're all cute and everything, and you think that you think it's almost like a little human or something, but he will rip your fucking face off. Give him the chance. Petrozzi says I have a beagle named Norman, and the cats look at him like he's a dummy. Well, probably because you named him Norman. No, I'm just kidding. Norman it was a great name. Jolie says, how weird is this? I woke up a couple of weeks ago, heard a strange sound. It was a wild bird in our house. No clue how that could have happened. The shenanigans getting it out was hilarious. I'm pretty sure I had birds. Well, I think I've had birds in other houses that somehow flew in, like in our house and stuff. But the last place that I had back in Rosamond, back in California, before I moved here, it was a mobile home that I had out on a 2.5 acre lot out kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I used to be gone out on the road 6-7 weeks at a time. And while I was gone, not only would assholes that lived around me figured it out, and they broke into my house and they robbed all my shit one day. Not only was that happening, but birds were getting in. Amongst other things, like maybe that's why the snake was in there to try to get the bird or something. I don't know. But you know how you have like sort of like a stovepipe thing, and I think it was the one that was right over the stove, you know, and you've got your fan, and then that has like a stovepipe that goes to the roof, and apparently, I think they were getting in through there. I guess it wasn't blocked. I guess it didn't have I think it's supposed to have like a little screen on it, but apparently there wasn't a screen or something. And I think the birds, because one time I found a dead bird was stuck in that stovepipe. And so and previous to that, I would come home and find dead birds in the house because they would get in the house and then they would die because there was like no food or water or whatever. They would, because I was gone literally when I say 6 or 7 weeks, I'm not joking. People might think I'm exaggerating. I was on the road for 6 to 7 weeks at a time, usually. So if a bird gets in your house and there's not bird food for them and shit, they're going to die. So I would come home and find dead birds in my house. Usually not, you know, like maybe just one at a time, or maybe I don't know. I don't remember if I came home and there was more than one. But you know, and so finally I figured out. I saw where they were coming in because I found a dead bird that was stuck in that fucking pipe, and I got that. I had to get that out of there. Oh, it was so gross. And then I think I fixed it. I think I went up on the roof and there's supposed to be a little screen. I think it had just popped off or something. And I just popped it back on. But yeah, it's gross. Gross shit. Living out in the desert, in the middle of nowhere. Not just the desert, like here I live in the desert. But when I had the Roseman house, I mean, it was out in the desert. And that's why we had snakes. We had fucking rodents all over the place, birds, all kinds of shit. And like I said, the snake that came in was like a gardener snake, which was fortunate. But I personally saw a lot of rattlers out there too. Not inside the house, but around the house, around the area. So I was very glad that we had gardener snakes because they will they fight the rattlers. Mr. Spock says, as a kid, my sister brought me to a pet store. She went over to this cute tiny monkey. They had a monkey in there? Hanging in a cage. She looked up at it and pushed in her face. I laughed. The monkey pushed in your sister's face? Is that what you're saying? Oh, it pissed in her face. Wow. That's disgusting. See how monkeys are? They don't like us. Sandy Fold says the lady next door had birds that whistle, the Andy Griffith tune. See, I'm just not into any of that shit, man. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into birds. I'm not into any of that weird ass shit, man. A dog and a cat, that's my limit. Joey says cockatiels live about 20 years. Cockatoos live for over 50. Oh, I got my cocks mixed up. Which happens. It happens, folks. Paul Burrow says, I have a cat named Norman. He's a fucking idiot. Wow, you should introduce him to Petrossi's dog, or whoever it was. Wouldn't that be funny? He'd be like, Norman, this is Norman. DPD says, I don't understand why you can't claim your animals as dependents. You take them to the doctor, you buy them clothes, you shelter them, you buy them gifts and food, you hire pet sitters. They're children. I don't know. You mean just so you can get like more write-offs and stuff? I guess. Serena Monkey says, true story. My parents had a budgie called Pepe. I have no idea what a budgie is. I'm thinking it's a bird, but anyhow. A budgie called Pepe. Behind his cage, there were school pictures, class photos, and the bird picked off the faces of all us kids in the pictures. Yep, that should tell you everything you need to know about old Pepe. Pepe did not like the kids. Pepe was jealous of you kids. Nola Carnes, I don't do snakes or bats or anything that has fangs. The bats pretty much leave you alone. I've seen lots of bats out in the desert, and even when I was living in Rosemond, out in the middle of nowhere, as soon as it started getting the sun going down, you could kind of see these bats coming out, and they would flutter all over the place. They're just looking for bugs to eat, basically. And I'm not a bug, so I felt safe. NJ Daniel, full-grown chimps can be yeah, they rip your fucking face off. Are you not listening to me? They will literally just rip your face completely off. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. There was a lady who had to have a face replacement because the monkey ripped her face off. They're 20 times stronger than a human, and they can just rip your fucking face off. IB YouTubing's here. Hey, IB YouTubing. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. IB YouTubing says, Jolie, you had a cockatiel and a cat in the house at the same time. Did the cat not try to mess with the cockatiel? Maybe your cat misses the cockatiel. Say cockatiel one more time, motherfucker. No, just kidding. MJ Daniel says, be careful to never mix up your cocks. Yes. Yeah. That's good advice, MJ Daniel. That's good advice. Danny Pomeroy's here. Hey, Danny, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Danny Pomeroy says, I can't afford the dog's health care, so I don't have any dogs anymore. It's about feeding me and my health care right now. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, people keep wanting me to get a cat. I can barely take care of myself. I'm supposed to take care of a cat. Jolie says, I'd be YouTubing, they weren't friends at all. I'd have to put the cat up to let the cockatiel out. Anna Moore says, thanks, Damon Dog. Somehow I missed part of today's show. I watched the premiere earlier and thought that was it for today. Laughing out loud. Yeah, I wonder if I should have put something on that premiere, like, stay tuned for the Trucker John live stream coming up later on at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Paul Burrow's got to go. Peace out. All right, Paul, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. I hope all goes well with your roof estimate. Hope it's not too much money. Probably will be, though. Jolie says, I don't even have the pet carrier out yet, and my cat has disappeared. How do they know? Oh, they know. They have little calendars. They're like, uh-oh, today's the day, right? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Let's hide. They have little cat calendars. Serena Monkey says, monkeys are dangerous people. People. Dangerous people. John Glad's here. Oh, I'm always glad to see John Glad in the driver's lounge. That is not a banana in my pocket. DPD says, you should be able to claim your pets. You take care of them just like you do a human child. You're responsible for their well-being. That's kind of a repeat of what you said earlier. That coffee is good. I think I like the. If you guys remember about the lady who brought me boxes of stuff, she brought me a little coffee maker where you make it with ground coffee, and I still have my Keurig. I put that in the cupboard. I put that away, and I've been making coffee with that little coffee maker. I think I like that better than the Keurig. It seems to come out much better. I guess I can make it stronger because those little K cups are like that. I kind of put like 3 big giant heaping tablespoons. It's probably the equivalent of like 6 tablespoons or something. I don't know. And I like the way it comes out. John Glad says, I have 2 feral cats and they have chosen me to feed them. I cannot refuse. Josh C says, hey, good people, sorry I'm late. Well, you will be marked down for that, Josh. That will go into your permanent record that you were late. Sorry, them's the rules. Them's the rules, Josh. You will be marked as late. You'll be in the record. Sandy's happy to see you, though. Sandy doesn't mind that you're late, just as long as you get here. Danny Pomeroy says, I'm making chicken soup with wild rice, something different. I'll listen to John. I cooked some salmon the other night because I told you guys I bought some salmon. And I used to cook salmon somewhat a lot. It seems like way back 25, 30 years ago, I remember I cooked salmon. And for some reason, I don't remember ever having skin on the salmon. Like this one had skin on one side. I don't remember when I used to cook salmon ever getting it with skin. That's kind of why I don't like, because I've been ordering online and getting it delivered. Since I don't have a car, it's just easier to do it that way. That's why I like shopping in person better, so I could pick out the stuff the way I want it. I don't think I would buy the salmon with skin on it. I don't know. But you just throw it in the pan. I just cooked it in olive oil. And then I saw, and I think YouTube is listening to me because I think I mentioned that I had some salmon. I mentioned it earlier, on a previous episode of the Trucker John live stream. And then I actually started getting these, and I didn't, I wasn't searching these. All I did was mention that I had salmon. And then I started getting some like salmon videos in my feed. I guess my For You page or whatever. And last night I was watching this awesome video that somebody put together about cooking salmon. And I was like, man, I wish I would have seen this before I cooked my salmon, because they did all this, they cooked it in vegetable oil. I cooked mine in extra virgin olive oil. But they did little things like they did little lemon peel shavings on it, and they were cutting up little herbs and stuff and put on there. It just looked good. I didn't add any of that stuff because I don't have that stuff. John Glad says, I'm late because I was doing yard work with great weather, 65 and 75 for the next 2 days. That sounds great. I wish that's what our weather is supposed to be like right now. We are supposed to be at around 70 degrees. Instead, we're going to be hovering close to 100. Oops. So I'm mad at God right now because he's making it hot. Way, way hot. Sandy Fo says I'm going to make some cabbage rolls. Serena Monkey says, yep, your phone is grassing you up for being a salmon fiend. Grassing you up. That must be some bloody English term. DBD says, TJ Frisch salmon has the skin attached. I can't eat salmon. It makes me sick. I like salmon. Damon Dog says, I like cedar plank salmon on the grill. There you go. Nick Rich, hotter than hell. Hotter than hell. I don't know if it is hotter than hell, Nick Rich, but it sure feels like it. I actually turned my air conditioner on for the first time yesterday, I guess it was. For the first time since, I think, last October. And I'm really kind of pissed off because I was really hoping that I wouldn't have to turn the AC on until at least mid-May, maybe June. That's usually when we get our first 100-degree day, is usually sometime between mid-May and the first week of June. That's usually when we get our first 100-degree days. And I was really hoping I didn't have to turn the AC on until then. But yesterday it was about 95 degrees. And I had the windows open at first in the morning to get the cool morning air in here a little bit, but then I could feel it was warming up, so I closed the windows. It started getting hot, so I turned the AC on, and I'm really disappointed. Really mad. I'm really mad about that. Serena Monkey says, I'm going to fuck off and get some non-salmon based pork pies. See, that's another English thing, pork pies. No one eats pork pies in America. Totally English thing, right? Pork pies? Who eats pork pies? Are there any Americans in here that eat pork pies? No. But you enjoy your pork pies, Surrender Monkey. You enjoy those. John Glad says, my brother brings me salmon smoked with skin on, the best. Belfast Bob is here. Hello, TJ Truckers and mods. Hello, Belfast Bob. All the way from Ireland. Belfast Bob coming in all the way from Ireland. So we've got the Irish and we got the English. But you two be on your best behavior. Damon Dog says, got to mail my ex-wife a birthday present. It's a bracelet with a polar bear on it. Comes with a code so you can track a polar bear on your phone. Pretty cool. She loves bears. Wow, you're giving your ex-wife a birthday present. Good for you. Good for you. DPD says, stay away from tilapia. It's not fish. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's not fish. I've had tilapia all the time. I've heard all the bad, all the shit talking about tilapia. I've eaten tilapia. I think it's good. I have no problem with tilapia. I don't know why people hate tilapia so much. I've eaten it many, many times. I think I've had no problems with it, no issues with it. I don't know why tilapia gets such a bad rap. I don't get it. John Glad says, wait till you get those 140-degree days. When that happens, if we ever hit 140, that truly will be the end of the world. That will truly be the end of the world as we know it. If Las Vegas gets 140 degrees, I think that is the end of the world. That's it. We've hit 120 a few times in the past couple of years, and that was crazy. I've lived in this desert my whole entire life. I've never seen 120-degree days. The only place I've ever heard of that getting that hot or hotter is Death Valley, which is nearby, but that's Death Valley. Death Valley is Death Valley. I'd call it Death Valley because it's like one of the hottest places on the planet. But outside of that, as far as like Las Vegas or when I lived in California in Victorville and Apple Valley, you saw the very opening clip of my intro. That was in Adelanto, which is right by Victorville. That's where I grew up. And I live now in the same Mojave Desert. It's all the same Mojave Desert. I lived here 65 years in this Mojave Desert. I had never seen anything. I've never seen 120-degree days in where I live. Like I said, you might hear about Death Valley going over 120 and maybe hitting 130 or something like that, but that's Death Valley. That's not Victorville. That's not Las Vegas. That's not Barstow. That's not Palmdale. Palmdale never would see 120. Now we're getting up there. Now it's not uncommon to get 115, 116, 117, 118 during the summer, and those would be the extremes. That would be the low desert. The Mojave Desert primarily is high desert, where I lived. Victorville, Apple Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, even here is all over 2,000 feet elevation, 2,500, some spots close to 3,000 feet elevation. The low desert, that's down in that's like Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Coachella, Indio. That is right around sea level. So it's hotter down there. Those low deserts are usually there's usually about a 10-degree difference, it seems like. So if it was 105 in Victorville, it was probably about 115 in Palm Springs. I went to school down there in Palm Desert, which is Palm Desert, Palm Springs, right next to each other, back in the early 80s. And so I remember where I saw a few days where it hit 118, and that was extreme, even for Palm Springs. Now it's becoming commonplace. In the high desert, to get 116, 117, 118. And these last couple of summers, we've hit 120 at least once or twice each summer now. So these temperatures are getting crazier and crazier and crazier. But if we hit 140, that would mean to me that humankind is gone, no longer exists. Except for the rich assholes that bought those bomb shelters, I guess. DPD says, more power to you, TJ, for loving tilapia. Enjoy you, my friend. Yeah, like I said, I don't get it. I've heard the rap against tilapia for 20 years. People say it's not healthy, don't eat it. I don't think it's any worse than any other fish. So, Damon Dog, I was up till 2 a.m. watching Political Punk with Bob. I was watching Political Punk also, like when I'm working and in between rides. I'll have it, my phone will be in the middle console, and I'll have sometimes, Riverboat Jack or Political Punk. And I remember watching Political Punk was on when I stopped working last night. It was like 1 or 1:30 in the morning, I think. And then when I got home, like on the ride home, I was editing that one video and stuff. And then when I got home, I turned my phone back on and on YouTube, and Political Punk was still on. Yeah, it was. I think it was like 3 in the morning or 2:30 in the morning or something. I don't know. And I was like, wow, because usually he doesn't go that long. Nick Rich, is too hot for me when it gets over 80 degrees Fahrenheit. John Glenn says the problem with most fish is they are raised in toxic fish ponds. Jolie says, Damon Dog, I got my oldest daughter a polar bear tracker bracelet and my youngest a sea turtle one. They love them. Oh, nice. Sandy Falls, does your complex have a swimming pool? No, there's no pool here. Nope. Nothing. Nothing like that. Serena Monkey, you are doing the high desert wrong. Of course, that's where Serena Monkey would go with it. This is just in terms of elevation. That's all. DPD says that, well, the Nazis do not believe in global warming. It's God's will. Let them tell it. They don't believe in science. Well, well, well. Yeah. They don't. And here we are bombing schools full of little schoolgirls to get that sweet, sweet oil. Now, we know the real reason is to keep Epstein files off the front pages, but, you know, there's going to be a big oil grab too, I guess. Nola Carnes says, I love hot weather. The hotter, the better. Really? I don't know where you live, Nola Carnes, but you should probably move to Palm Springs then. Or Palm Springs area. That's one of the hottest places in the country. So. I hate it when you live in a place. See, even back then, this is back in 1980, 81. I was down there playing football at College of the Desert. And we had to have our practices like at, starting at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, because it would still be 100 degrees until about then. And if we were lucky, it might be cooling down into the 90s. This is during like early in the year, like in August and September. And then it would start cooling down as we got into the season and more into the fall. And that's what we're seeing here now in Vegas, where it'll stay 100 degrees all night long. And it never used to be that way. Like I said, I've lived in this desert my entire life. And even if it was a hot day, 100 degrees, 105, 110, during the night, it would always cool down into the 70s, sometimes into the 60s. So you would get a nice break from the heat. You could cool your house down. You could cool yourself down. Even in the morning, it would still be cool for a little while. And then it would heat up to 100 or 110, for most of the afternoon. And then the sun would go down and it would cool down again. But now it doesn't do that. I mean, it is cooling down because the daytime high is like 115 or 116, but it's not going under 100, I'm talking about during summer, not now, but during, July and August, September. It's just crazy. And that's just too hot. You can say you like the hotter the better, but I don't know, man. When it just never goes under triple digits, even during the night, that's just too much, man. You got to get a break from it. Nola Carnes, you just drink lots of beer. Sandy Folds, I can't stand snow. DPD says, did anyone see that Fetterman voted to enhance Mark Wayne Mullen? I mean, maybe advance, Mark Mullen to the next round of hearings. I would say I'm shocked, but not really. When I was putting my little intro together, I did see that. I saw a little headline on it, or a little blurb on that. Yeah, I guess I'm not really shocked to hear that either. Surrender Monkey says, I once got burned so badly in Lanzarote, or is it Lanzarote? I don't know. I've never heard of Lanzarote. That I missed 3 days of my 1 week holiday. Sunstroke is no joke. I had pink legs for months, and it wasn't pleasant. Well, yeah. There's a thing called sunscreen. I suggest you invest in some sunscreen next time. Jolie says, I finally found my cat. We're off to the vet. I'll be listening on the drive. We'll have a good drive, and hope things go well for the kitty cat. IB YouTubing says, Nola Carnes, good to see you too. I had to look up what GTSY stands for. Not a big texting person. Even I know what that stands for. Now, there's a lot of those I don't know what they mean, or I forget what they mean, but I know that one, at least. DPD says, I love the fall and winter. I don't do well in summer, and I meant advance. Yeah. I figured. I wish we didn't even have a winter here this year. We just had kind of a really mild winter, so we didn't get any winter. Our fall was kind of warm. I was running my AC up at least through October, maybe even to November a little bit. I don't remember the exact day I stopped using the AC, but I remember sitting on the couch watching the baseball playoffs in October and running my AC. Then by the time we got into the World Series in November, I don't remember if I still had to have AC on or not. I don't remember. But the point is fall was hot. Winter was mild. It was kind of more like fall or whatever. We had like 1 week of actual cold temperatures. And now it's almost spring officially, and we're having 100-degree temperatures. This is just, it's not fair. It's not right. I was really hoping to get a good 3 months of nice, 70-degree weather. That's usually what we get in the spring here. Is just nice 70s degree, But nope, going right to the hundreds. Right to the freaking hundreds. Hopefully we'll get a little cooling spell before actual summer gets here. Hopefully this will just be a heat wave that will pass, and then we'll get back into our more typical temperatures. But why would I think that when all winter long we were 15 degrees above average temperature almost every single day? We were like 12 to 15 degrees above average every single day during the winter, except for, like, say, maybe 1 week. So why would I think that we're gonna get to normal temperatures for this spring? Sandy Fold says fish tastes great with baked potato and coleslaw. Spanish Monkey says Lanzarote is a Spanish island. It's beautiful. I forgot to sunscreen my legs because there were so many tits on the beach. It's not my fault. Boobs are amazing. So you got a little distracted there, did you? You were so distracted looking at the boobs, you forgot to slather on a little sunscreen on those white pasty pegs. Let that be a lesson to you, Sonny boy. Sandy Folds, March Madness is on TV. Yeah, there's a few games today. I think there's like 3 games, and then tomorrow is it's in full swing, and that's pretty big up here. March Madness. A lot of people come up here to watch. Not only they can place bets, and even with there's lots of online betting that people can do from anywhere. They don't have to come to Vegas anymore to do that. But a lot of people still do come here because it is like a fun environment. There's lots of March Madness, like parties, or casinos have things like a special event just for March Madness, and people come up for that. So that should be a busy weekend, which is good for me as a cab driver. Probably get a lot of the March Madness business coming into town. Nola Carr says, I'd be YouTubing, that's okay. I thought LAMAO meant lame-o, and quit texting a friend because I thought she was cracking on me. Found out it was the opposite, laughing my ass off. Yep. Sandy Folds, I can send you some snow. Okay, go ahead. Do it. I'd be YouTubing, says John Glad. Oh, wow, good to see you. Good GTSY can be good to see you, glad to see you, or great to see you. All good. DPD says, did anyone see the Postal Service will run out of money within a year, according to the Postmaster General David Steiner, another Trump sycophant? I did not see that. I did not see that. Being a former postal worker, that does sort of upset me. Post office has always been self-supporting, completely financed by its sale of stamps. And so I don't know what's going on there. Nick Rich says acronyms are lazy. IMHO. Now that means, in my humble opinion, but what did the people who didn't know what that meant? What did they think that? What did Nola? If she saw I'm ho? If Nola saw IMHO, did Nola think that the person was calling themselves a hoe? Doug's here. Hey, Doug, good to see you. Doug says we must dig DJT. I don't know what that means. Now, back in the old sort of 60s hippie parlance, dig would mean like. Dig means you like or understand. Like you dig, man. That would mean like, do you understand? Or you could say, I really dig this person. I really dig that. That means you like that. So I don't know what that means when you say we must dig DJT. We must like DJT? Or we must understand DJT? I don't know. Sandy Folds says the Key Bank Center has basketball games going on in Buffalo, New York. Nola says, yeah, dig him a grave. I'd be YouTubing. I have to look that up too. What, IMHO? In my humble opinion. Now, these are acronyms that are pretty old now. Probably like 20 years at least that they've been pretty popular. So just so you know, you're like 20 years behind the times. John Glad says, Doug likes the POTUS. Doug dig Doug. Doug. I don't think Doug does. I don't think Doug digs the DJT. Nick Rich, WWJD. I know that one. IB YouTubing says, like I said, I do not text very much. I don't either, but I, still, these are things that have been around quite a long time. Belfast Bob, Barry DT. And that is the correct way of spelling Barry. I'm about out of coffee. Good to the last drop. Yep, John Glad, that's what WWJD means. What would Jesus do? That's what that means. Ding, 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 you win the prize for knowing what WWJD. Now, there's some that I don't know, like, that I forgot, and I've had to have you guys tell me what they mean. But these are some of the really common ones that you guys are doing now that really are kind of in the more even in common vernacular, I think. Doug says he forgot the line "drill baby drill." Yeah, what did he say the other day? He was like, Nick Rich FFS. Yeah, I know what that one means. Certain Monkey says something, I don't know, rocket ship with lasers. Okay, that's what that thing there. Now you're doing like pictograms now. That's different than acronyms. Yeah, Trump couldn't remember drill baby drill. I forget what he said. And what was it like? Get what's good out of the ground or something like that. Some silly nonsense. DPD says Iran struck the world's largest LNG complex in Qatar, causing major damage that will take 5 years to repair. The orange pedophile is upset because it hits him in his wallet. Well, you know what? Boo fuckity who, Donald Trump. You started this war. So, fuck you, Donald. Bill Carnes, dig, baby, dig. Nick Rich, we must dig. Dig we must. That was it. Yes, Petrozzi. Dig we must. Yeah. That should be a t-shirt. Dig we must. Surrender Monkey, there's like a weird B and a D. Surrender Monkey says, sorry, I fucked it up. I'm drunk. So that's supposed to be a spaceship with lasers with the B. I thought it was, I don't know. Dig we must. Yeah. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Dig we must. Yes. Commence with the digging of what we must do. Yes, in my word salad mushy brain. Remember all the shit talking of Biden? God, it was so much projection. Because even back then, Trump was still, a marble mouth, a mush mouth. Couldn't get shit straight. But we know there's such a double standard. Such a double standard. And Trump can do whatever he wants and apparently get people to vote for him 3 times for president. Belfast Bob, like nobody's dug before. Dig we must. The likes of which have never been seen before. We shall dig. William says, I had blood work today. I hope everything's okay. Me too, William. I hope everything checks out okay for you. Nick Rich says, dig up clean coal. Clean, beautiful coal. Oh, the beautiful coal. We must dig it up. Dig we must. The beautiful coal. Breathe it in. Belfast Bob says, I'm getting same next Friday. William, good luck. Good luck. Yeah. Beautiful coal. What else can we bring out? Beautiful smokestacks. Look at those smokestacks. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of these double standards. You know, Clock Workelman said, what up, TJ? Your impression is killing me. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Thanks for being here, Clock Workelman. Bill Carnes, I'm getting blood work tomorrow. What's with the blood work? Everyone's getting the blood work. You getting the blood work? This must be the time of year. Time to get that blood work. Get your blood work. Well, I hope it all goes well for everybody. That's for sure. That's for sure. Anyhow, where was I at? With the beautiful coal. But you know, I decided that I'm not going to let Donald Trump like ruin my life. I'm not going to let him do it. Fuck you, Donald Trump. I'm still going to live my life to the best of my ability. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to live in dread or depression. I'm just not going to let him do it. And I suggest that for everyone. Don't let Trump get you to a point where, you know, every day is just doom and gloom. And I know it's hard. I mean, there's so much stuff going on, so much shit going on. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to live just like waiting for the. In other words, I'm not just going to wait for the midterm elections or wait for 2028. You know, I'm like, I think there's a maybe just speaking for myself, like maybe there's a tendency to just think like, oh, things are going to be all better at the midterms, or things are going to be all better in 2028 and all better in 2029 when we take office back or whatever. I'm not waiting that long to live my life to the best that I can live it. So don't let Trump and these maggots don't let them control your life to the point where you're almost like putting your life on hold. You know what I mean? Until we get to the midterms or until we get the White House back or whatever. We've got to just still maintain our own happiness in whatever way we can. I know it's hard. I mean, you know, with all the things that are going on with this war, it's hard to be happy. And I'm not saying we should ignore the war and ignore what's going on. We should protest it. March 28th, we've got No Kings. Not only is it about no kings, but it should be about no war. And I did get an email from the No Kings because I'm on their mailing list, and I guess they were having a sign making party. I should probably try to go to that. maybe. And I think we should be making signs really about the war, about no war, and how this is an illegal war. But we can do things like no kings. We can do these things, but don't let Trump take over your life. John Glad says Nebraska is on fire, almost 1 million acres burned. Cluck Workelman says great attitude, TJ. He needs to go to Mar-a-Lago and stay there. He needs to go to prison, actually. Jolie wants everyone to know that WWJD is what would Jolie do? Allows you to embrace your worst instincts. Elizabeth Martinez is here. Buenos dias. Hola, amigo John or Juan. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks for being here. Buenos dias to you as well. IB YouTubing says, TJ, do you tune into Texas Paul Coffee? He is a ride or die Democrat and a big coffee drinker. Are you particular about your coffee? I watch Texas Paul. I mean, I watch him all the time, or not all the time, but usually, I guess on Sundays I'll watch his show, and then whatever clips come up, he does a lot of little clips. Am I particular about my coffee? Well, I just have been buying the store brand Colombian ground coffee, and I know he's ride or die. I don't even know what that means. Whenever he says ride or die, I'm always like, what does that mean? I don't even know what it means. Man. I don't know what ride or die means. All I know is I'm a Democrat. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I've never voted for a Republican in my life, so I guess that makes me ride or die. And I've heard the term, but it doesn't make sense to me. Some of these terms don't make sense to me. Ride or die. I don't get it. No, I vote blue no matter who, so, whatever. Kelly Hella's here. Got to keep on smiling, bro. Keep on smiling. Got to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling. Smiling on. Hey, Kelly Hella. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Coming on in. Coming on in. DPD, you have to find happiness and joy wherever you can, whenever you can. Yeah, I mean, let's try not to drive ourselves crazy. I'm not saying, don't do anything. But yeah, let's try not to just, in the meantime, between now and November, and between now and the 2028 elections, we still have our lives that we have to live. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, don't put your life on hold or something. I mean, we still have to live our lives. Clockwork Woman says, how many billionaires do you know that have went to prison? I know, right? Those billionaires, they have good lawyers. And they can buy off people. That's why, I'm not holding my breath on ever seeing Trump behind bars. That's for sure. Belfast Bob says, Diaper Don keeps pardoning billionaires. Has he? Oh, really? I mean, he's pardoned a lot of people. I don't know if they were billionaires, but Keller Hella, keep on smiling through the pain. Got to keep on smiling. Charlie, let's go crazy. Let's go nuts. Nick Rich says, billionaires find loopholes. Will Carnes, Epstein. Yeah, Epstein wasn't pardoned. He was He was murdered. Yeah, Epstein was convicted during the Trump administration. David Weiss, I believe from Denver. David Weiss from Denver, right? Says, got a chuckle out of you noticing the Pontiac auto auction rebuilds. The Pontiac on auto auction rebuilds. I was watching that, the one with the Grand Prix. I was watching that because there's a Grand Prix that's not that old as the one in the auto auction rebuilds, but there's one for sale that's only like, I think she wants $400 or $500 for it. I haven't gone to look at it yet. And so that really caught my attention on auto auction rebuilds when he was doing his thing about the Grand Prix that he found. Noel Card says he still went to prison. Yeah, he did go to prison. One of the rare ones. The exception to the rule, I suppose. Petrozzi says, I hope this Iran shit is making Dinky's sphincter spasm painfully. What is it making him feel like? Because I've heard that he thought that this was going to make him really popular. But when gasoline prices spike 80 and 90 cents and $1 higher in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, which is really all the maggots care about, is when something directly affects them. They finally are like, what the fuck, man? And so Trump's popularity is even getting lower and lower, even amongst the maggots. He's upset about that because he really thought that this was going to make him more popular, this fucking stupid war. Dave Weiss, yeah, the Grand Prix, get a code reader. Yeah, I want to get one of those, was it OBS or whatever they call it? I've been watching a lot of car videos lately since I'm looking for a car, and it's going to be some old beater. It's going to be something cheap, I guess. And every one of them, they say to get that little code reader. So I want to look into getting one of those for sure. And now I know what I'm looking for. Check the oil. Make sure it doesn't look like a milkshake. Check the radiator fluid. Smell the cap. Smell the gas cap. Smell the radiator cap. All that shit. DPD says another reason to despise Amazon. The workers went to the plant because the tornado sirens were going off, and the plant manager locked the doors so the workers couldn't get in. What the fuck? I think I heard about that that's a while ago, right? Petrozzi says gas is $3.79 in is that Northern Kentucky? How much was it like 3 weeks ago? Probably $2.79. I know here just prior to the war, gas, I think regular unleaded, I think it was like $3.39. And now I'm seeing it, because I don't buy gas. The gas is provided for the cabs. But So I'm trying to remember, less than driving by and seeing the gas prices. It's almost $5 a gallon. I don't know if we've hit $5 yet, but I thought I saw like $4.89 a gallon. I wouldn't be surprised if it's broken 5 just from today. You know. IB YouTube says, could Epstein be alive? My daughter showed me a video of a guy that looks like Epstein allegedly driving with the top down in Miami. I don't know. I guess it's possible. I don't think he's alive. I think he's dead. I think he was murdered. I don't think he committed suicide, though. I think he was murdered. DPD, make sure you get a Carfax. Hey, look, if I get a $400 beater, I'm not gonna worry about Carfax. I'm not even really gonna worry about the codes. It's one thing if you're paying, $2 or $3 grand for something, then yeah. The things I'm looking at are literally like $400 or $500 that probably won't even last very long. I'm just trying to get something to get me to work that will get me to work quickly and efficiently and long enough so I can work more and save up more money to get something better. Believe me, if you're buying a car for $500, Carfax doesn't make it. It doesn't matter. The codes on it don't matter. You're just all you're trying to do is get something that's going to last for a few months, so that you can get to work and make some serious money. So then I can buy something a little nicer, a little better, and then yeah, then maybe I'll look at Carfax and maybe I'll run codes on it. But right now, the things I'm looking at. The Carfax doesn't matter. The codes don't matter. Really, all that matters is will it start and will it run? Will it get me the 18 miles to work and 18 miles back home for the next 4 or 5 months or 6 months or whatever? That's really all I'm looking at right now. Elizabeth Martinez says should be in jail. Why is cartel Trump and those pedophile or billionaires not removed and in jail? I hate that they are free. I don't know, us, the people, should act like they did to Cesar Chavez. No equal rights here. You're right. But Trump has effectively got protection all around him. He's got his hand-picked SCOTUS. He's got his hand-picked and total loyal sycophant Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's been involved with this since she was a Florida AG. He has a Republican Congress that won't do anything against him. So he's got a layer of protection all around him. I mean, that's why. And it's not going to change until we can get back control of at least some branch of government. And even then, even if we get the House back and the Senate back in November, they don't take office until January of next year. And really all they're going to be able to do is just sort of stymie or stop Trump from doing anything else, hopefully. But as far as actually seeing justice carried out in a court of law, I don't see that happening. Petrozzi says, yep, 2.53. I have no idea what that means. Oh, 253 a gallon. Okay. Yeah, I guess it was 253, I guess, before the war. Now it's 379. Kellahella says, poor MAGA pickup owners, too expensive to roll coal. Anna Moore says Amazon is the worst. DPD. I don't use Amazon anymore. Ugh. Elizabeth Martinez. They are all slimes. They're slimes. DPD says, TJ, I just don't want you to spend $400 or $500 on a car that would break down on you. It worries me. $400, $500 is still a lot of money. I don't want to see you in the same boat. That's all. Well, I haven't even really looked at any cars. So believe me, if it's something I do know a little bit about cars and vehicles and shit. If it's something I don't think is, going to get me to work, I won't buy it. If I had more to spend, I would spend more, but but I'm just saying a Carfax report doesn't really mean shit when you're buying a $400 jalopy, because you already know it's a jalopy. There's a reason why it's only $400. But you might get lucky, because some of these cars, they're just, people don't want them anymore, and they just want them out of their driveway, and it might just be some quick little fixes that could get them running decently. Some of them are totally shot, where they've got a cracked head, not just a head gasket, but the whole head is cracked, or where it will need a whole new engine or something, or a whole new tranny or something like that. But some things just need a little quick fix. So, not that would make it a perfect car, but, hey, look, I'm just trying to get to where I don't have to take a 2-hour bus ride every fucking day, one way. That's what I'm trying to do. Because it's really hard for me to go to work knowing I got a 2-hour bus drive ahead of me, especially in this fucking heat now. I really wasn't expecting the heat until June, to tell the truth. I wasn't expecting 100-degree heat until June. And I thought I would have a little more time to get a car, because my goal was to get a car before the heat sets in. DPD says that Amazon should be abolished. Good luck on that. Why would they abolish? How would Amazon be abolished? That sounds like something that some communist country would do. I'm not a communist. David Dog says, back from the post office, $8 to send an envelope with a little bracelet from New York, or from North Carolina to West Virginia. Wow, $8. And that's not a very long distance. Well, the post office apparently is going broke, so they gotta charge you. David Weiss says, I have 2 cars, about 180,000 miles, and I pick up 133,000 miles. Yeah, you can get good mileage out of cars if with proper upkeep and maintenance. I've been YouTubing, used Hondas can be reliable. Yeah, they can be. Hondas, Toyotas, yeah. There's a couple Camrys that I've seen. I've just been basically looking at Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. But I haven't actually gone and looked at anything yet. Maybe next week. Maybe sometime next week I'll be able to do that. Maybe. I don't know. No, the cars, I have a 2007 Honda. I really wish I would have kept my Cadillac now. But it needed so much work. I had a 2002 Cadillac. I guess that's the STS or SLS. I always forget the little letters. But it was really nice. I mean, it was a really nice car. But it kind of fell victim to sitting out in dirt parking lots for 6 and 7 weeks at a time. And it's weird how, because I was out on the road, truck driving, and I would leave the car just parked, and I think that was fucking the car up. And it's like, you got to drive them. You can't just leave them parked, even for 6 weeks. And I know I was getting rodents in the car, in the engine compartment. I know there was wires being chewed up. I put so much money into that car, though. I dumped easily a couple of grand into that car. I bought that back in, when did I buy it? Over 10 years ago that I bought it. Probably 10, 11, 12 years ago. And at that time, so it was, I think it was or was it a 2000? Maybe it was like a 2000 Caddy. So by the time I bought it, it was about 14, 15 years old. It had pretty low mileage. I thought pretty low mileage for the year. I think it only had like 60-something thousand miles or something. I don't know, maybe a little more. Yeah, 60 or 70,000. And it was it had one original owner, and they were like old people. They'd taken really good care of it. And then when I got it, it sat so much that it out in the desert, but at my house in a lot, my 2.5 acre lot was basically just desert and surrounded by desert with all the rodents and everything. They were eating the wires and the electrical system. I remember I spent that, and plus some other work I put into it, probably about $2 grand. I think I bought it for how much did I pay for it? I think I paid like $4 grand for it. I bought it at a used car lot. So I paid probably more than I needed to. Then I probably put another couple grand into it. And still, then a few years ago, in 2023, I had to get it smogged, and I couldn't get it smogged. I took it to some shops, and then they wanted more money, and I was just tired of putting money into it, into that car. Like I said, I probably put at least $2 grand into it in work, redoing the electrical system, and they did some work on the transmission, I think, or I don't know. I forget all the stuff I had to do. Had to replace some stuff, and now in 2023, it was like it was going to be another big bill, because I don't have all the know-how. I don't have the garage. I don't have the tools, so I'm pretty much reliant on getting of having to take it to a garage or to a mechanic, and it's expensive. They're very expensive. So I just sold the car, and really just for a few hundred. I think all I got was a few $100 for it at this point, because it was unable to get smogged. It was unable to get registered, really, and I was at the mercy of that. And I didn't feel like putting more money into it, so I just sold it. Took a real big loss on that car. But now I wish I had it, and I wish I would have just fixed it, I guess, because it was a really good running car when it was running good. But it was just I think the reason it got so messed up was just from me parking it for 6 and 7 weeks at a time, and then really when I was home, I was only home for like 2 days, so I didn't really drive it all that much. And then it would be parked for another 6 or 7 weeks, So I don't know, man. I wish I would have kept it, though. Nola Carter says, I have a 2007 Honda, 89,000 miles. Wow. That's not bad. Petrazi, I'm going to read Boston Brian. Oh, that's right. It's 11 o'clock. And I do have my Boston Brian t-shirt on, by the way. You can see that. So I guess it's time to go raid. Yeah, if you guys want to raid BB, go raid BB. I've been on for over 2 hours. I should probably sign off and get ready for work. Sandy Full says Amazon's a good place to shop online. And full disclosure, I mean, it's been a little while, but I've shopped at Amazon and got things from there. I'm YouTubing says, don't get a 2007 Toyota Camry. I found out that year the engine was flawed. An 07 Camry. I'll have to try to remember that. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Surrender Monkey for sponsoring today's show with a 10-pound donation. So thanks to Surrender Monkey for that. DPD says Bezos is worth $254 billion, and yet he wants his employees, our employees, to pay $5 a week for health care. Some may think that's cheap, but compared to $18 to $24, it's a lot of money. Are you talking about their hourly? Is 18 to 24? Yeah, Bezos is an asshole. I think that's what happens. That's when you become a billionaire. Because I think at one time Bezos, I mean, he might have been a good guy. I mean, it's kind of a great story where he sort of started this business out of his garage, right? Delivering books. I think wasn't that the thing? And then it grew into what it is now. I mean, it's quite the success story. But how many people in the process has he stepped on and over and everything to get there? So, like Liberal Dan says, no one becomes a billionaire without some sort of corruption or without doing something bad. So, and I think that's a good point that Liberal Dan makes. Anyhow, guys, and speaking of Liberal Dan, today is Thursday. I believe Liberal Dan will be on tonight, 8 o'clock Central, if you want to check out a really great show, the best show on the internet, Liberal Dan, at 8 o'clock tonight, Central Time. Right now, we've got Boston Brian on. If you guys want to raid over there, let me see. Let me change over here. Let's see. Yeah, Boston Brian is on right now. So go ahead and give me a shout out over there. If you guys go over there, let Boston Brian know that this is a Trucker John raid. And I'll see you guys then. I'll put the link in over here. Alrighty. There's the link to Boston Brian if you guys want to go over there, and when you go, just say hi from Trucker John, I guess. I'll see you guys again Saturday. Our next regularly scheduled live stream will be Saturday, 11 a.m., right after the House Park show. So if you guys are watching House Parks, and then right afterwards, just come on over here. We can hang out for a little bit more. I'll see you then. In the meantime, stay safe. Either try to stay warm or try not to get too hot. I'm already getting a little sweat going, so it's going to be hot today. Right now, we're already at 86. Like I said, we're going to get 97 today. So stay safe out there, whatever the conditions are. Don't let Donald Trump run your life. Don't let him ruin your life. We're still going to live our lives. We're not going to let that a-hole, we're not going to let him ruin our lives. We're going to ruin his life. Let's put it that way. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Only thing left to do, I guess, is just do the words of wisdom. So you guys might want to get a pencil or a pen and piece of paper. Write these down. I'm told they're that good. Okay, you guys ready? Ready for today's words of wisdom? Okay.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all
gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. My apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love, it's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. So damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Show's over, I'm out of here, folks. Bye.